The Barclays Women's Championship is only a week old, but today has the feel of an early season-defining matchup. Bristol City look to bounce back to the WSL at the first time of asking, take on Birmingham City, a project which club-wide has people taking note of their intentions. Ashton Gate provides a fitting backdrop for two of the potential early season pace setters. The Robins have had a turbulent pre-season which saw head coach Lauren Smith depart less than 2 weeks before the league opener. Lauren Dykes has stepped into interim charge and oversaw a good point away to Southampton last weekend. Amy Merrick's, on the other hand, in the Birmingham City dugout, has had the perfect preparation and a complete performance last time out. An emphatic 5-0 demolition of Sunderland on the opening day have many believing in the direction the Blues are going. Add to that some very shrewd transfer market moves, and today will be a real showing of how far they've come in the off-season and maybe how close they'll go to topping the table at the end of it. And into team news, just the one change for the hosts from their opening day point as Jazz Bull comes in for Mary Ward. Lexi Lloyd-Smith made a goal-scoring start to life in the West Country after netting on her debut against her former side. She continues in support of Abby Harrison, who picked up the Golden Boot for Bristol City's championship-winning campaign back in 2022-23. As for Birmingham City, they announced the signing of Lee Min before the deadline this week. Lee not involved today, so we'll have to wait for their Birmingham debut. Just one solitary change from the 5-0 win last week as Captain Cho returns in place of Ashanti Akpan, who drops to the bench. Lucy Quinn notched twice in the 5-0 win last week, already matching her goals total in the championship last season. Only once in her career has she scored more than twice, and that was 6 a couple of years ago. On the evidence of last week and the way that Birmingham City approached last weekend, Quinn and Blues fans will be looking to see that bettered this time out. Summer signings: Ava Baker, Olivia Shurkowska and Luann Warzy all named amongst the substitutes as well. Well, yesterday saw lovely, summery, mid-September weather. Today is a little bit more overcast, but certainly there is nothing but a spark and a spring in the step of those that have packed into Ashton Gate this afternoon. Everybody in good spirits and hopeful from a Bristol City perspective to see some of that magic that saw them champions a couple of seasons ago. Last season was a bit of an adventure, plenty to learn from, plenty to take from it, and a couple of new additions, 6 new additions across the summer. Jamie Lee Napier, one of those stepping forward with the armband on. Going through the formalities, plenty of experience. Jamie Lee Napier, Scotland international, former Chelsea and London City Lionesses player. A big boost to Birmingham City to have Cho back and available this afternoon. It'll be Lucy May who's in charge of proceedings this afternoon. And as we've already alluded to, two teams that many have fancied pre-season in the conversation for who could be table toppers at the end of the campaign. Birmingham City ran Bristol City very close when Bristol City won the championship a couple of years back last season with a bit of a mixed bag that saw the departure of Darren Carter after not too long. But club-wide, there has been a real push and a real boost for Birmingham City. The men's team making a real fist of it in EFL League One, and now the women's team also in the potential promotion challenge. We will see how far they go, how close they go. Last week showed just why we love the Women's Championship. Unpredictable to the last whistle, entertaining from the first. However you expect it to play out, it almost certainly won't go that way. And that's why we are gripped for it week after week. And we will be until the season finishes midway through next year. And we are underway at Ashton Gate. And an early feel of the ball for Fran Bentley in the Bristol City goal. Harrison just slides it off. Need to be a patient approach, of course. Two teams very comfortable in possession. Nice snapping into the tackle from Amy Rogers, and now first opportunity for Lexi Lloyd-Smith, who tried to sweep it into the path of Napier, who was rushing on. Can be dealt with and will be dealt with as Birmingham City can begin to grow forward. Early stoppage, which is never something you want to see. It's Tegan McGowan who might need a bit of medical assistance. Plenty for Lauren Dykes to ponder in first few weeks of interim charge of Bristol City. Caught a fair few off guard when Lauren Smith departed at the end of August. I think everybody in Bristol City Red fairly content with a point away at Southampton last weekend. Some really nice football played at times, and on the opposite side, Amy Merrick's, my word, probably couldn't have dreamt of a better start. I think it's fair to say that Sunderland have scrapped against relegation a few times in the last couple of seasons, but any team that you can go and beat 5 on the opening day, lay down a marker of intent, a statement sent across to many others, especially with the club-wide project, which I think will be a term used by many across the season. Birmingham City will certainly be one that many will have to keep more than just half an eye on. Here's Harley Bennett, another one of those new additions to Ashton Gate. Home debut for Bennett this afternoon. Really elegant ball playing centre half, can also step into midfield if needed as well. Great feet from Lexi Lloyd-Smith on that far side. Ball tries to just lay it into the path of Lloyd-Smith. It will be certainly a player that Bristol City want to get on the ball as much as possible. Long throw in by Ball, looking towards Napier, who tried a little flick around the corner. It's defended well, and Birmingham can clear. Something to chase, and a good foot race on this near side, but referee has pulled it back for the earlier foul. Neve Heron leaves it. Gets it back again though, and now can step forward. McGowan. It's a lovely slide ball in and really well defended, although not fully clear. Oh, the scooped effort was a delicious attempt. Intercepted up against Cho. Napier gets a toe on it. Oh, great feet from Heron. Tried to slide the ball in. Ella Powell, and it back to Silestruck. Just tried to scoop the ball over, and it will be given chase. Unable to keep a hold of it though. Fran Bentley, another who enjoyed Really nice time of it last time. Bristol City won the championship. One of the absolute elite goalkeepers at this level. And Bentley had to be quick off their line there as well. Struck. Lucy Quinn, who will just apply a little bit of pressure, but Bentley just rolls it back to the side and Struck can come forward again. Sweeping ball through, looking for Thestrup. Thomas's clearance. Back into a good area there from Emily Syme, but unable to pick out a red shirt. Here's Gemma Lawley. Celebrating her birthday this afternoon. I'm sure the only thing that she'd have been hoping for on her birthday would have been 3 points at Ashton Gate. So here is the Birmingham number 6. Thrust forward, and it will maybe ask a question of the Bristol City defence. It's really calm and composed from Fran Bentley. That's really good. How often do we see goalkeepers and defenders when they're sort of running towards each other? Communication has to be key. Absolutely was there. Bull. Now Bennett. Once again, the composure for Bristol City to be able to play out in really hairy situation. And now Powell prods it out to Thestrup. Napier. Powell wants it inside. Flag was up against Jamie Lee Napier. That will have been close. Now Niamh Heron. Nearly undercooked it. Lexi Lloyd-Smith able to get a toe on it, but at the expense of a throwing and nothing more. Quinn tried to juggle and was fouled in the process, or might have been given for handball, in fact. Now an opportunity for Holloway to perhaps tee one up a little bit. Lawley has made her way forward. In fact, Holloway might leave this one for Lucy Quinn. Rigid red line of defence on the edge of the area. It is Holloway with the left foot. And it came and claimed by Bentley, and under a bit of pressure from Lawley, who's now involved in a tussle with Harley Bennett. Two fully committed centre halves, making sure that pressure's on the goalkeeper and pressure's relieved from their own goalkeeper. Wouldn't have it any other way. Well dealt with by the referee as well. Didn't need to make a big deal of it and didn't. Now Struck. Bennett punched into Lexi Lloyd-Smith. Well, we said before the game had kicked off that this could be a real testing point for both teams, and I think the respect that they've shown each other in these opening exchanges has kind of shown that. Although now Birmingham trying to step on the gas. McGowan up against Bull. Lovely couple of step overs. Oh, and the effort from Fuso. Really nice build-up play from Birmingham City. Just went through the gears quickly, didn't they? All of a sudden, Fuso gets the ball, lays it into the feet of McGowan. Couple of step overs to work an angle. Bull defended really well. Didn't dive in, didn't hang a leg out, just stood firm. Quick touch out of the feet from Ivana Fuso, and the effort wasn't far away. Probably the best opportunity we've seen from either side, and nearly at the 12-minute mark. Bentley stood forward looking for Harrison. Harrison does win it back. Lawley steps across. Clearance is flicked on, but only as far as Powell, who can recycle it for Bristol City. Now Bennett. Lovely diagonal that Napier nods back into the path of Powell and gets it back as well. Here is Jamie Lee Napier. It's a teasing delivery as well. One that Lucy Thomas had to be aware of. In the blink of an eye, though. We said about Birmingham City showing their cards, and similarly, Bristol City. Passing range of Bennett from the back, and then the instinctive nature of Jamie Lee Napier to try and make something happen. Looks like a foul there on McKenna. Now Lawley. The little flick on might fall from McGowan. Really good save from Bentley. Flashed at her as well. Came from nothing really. McGowan makes really good contact as well. It's on the stretch and just tries to sort of slide it into the bottom corner. Long ball forward from Lawley. The flick on. Eventually finds its way through. Takes it early. He might even take a nick off Bull, you know. It's a really good save, that. Really good save from Fran Bentley. Swarming forward of the white shirts, but Scylla Struck takes no chances and relieves a bit of pressure for Bristol City. Maybe only momentarily, though. Playing through the lines again. It's a lovely ball. Although the flag was up for offside. Ivana Fuso's kind of stepping inside a little bit more now and trying to link the play with Lucy Quinn. It's important that you get acclimatised back at this level. There's no need or there's no appetite really for a WSL hangover, and that can quite easily happen. Although, very nearly, perfect hangover cure would have been an early goal. Ball towards the far post, might not be over, and just evades Abby Harrison. Tracking in at the far post, but how close is Jamie Lee Napier here of robbing Lucy Thomas? Chance from absolutely nothing. There's always going to be little scary moments for two teams that do play out from the back. You do have to take chances, but it's all about creating spaces and finding unmarked players to play into. But we've seen both teams applying high pressure and Seems to be working for both as well, because now it's Bristol City's turn to ask a few questions. Rogers. Struck under a little bit of pressure. Now Bennett. Clip ball over the top. If can be kept in, it is kept in by Ella Powell. Rogers. Again looking for that early delivery towards the far post, towards Lexi Lloyd-Smith. And it does eventually fall to her. Bull. Lovely feet, works an angle. Lloyd-Smith tries to just skip around the outside, but it's well defended by Rebecca Holloway. And it will be a Bristol City corner. Emily Syme winning that one. There's an air of expectation when you do come down from the WSL. It's showed last season the appetite for more top flight football here. Ashton Gate packing in fans week after week, and commitment to continue playing games here is a brilliant one by the club. Napier. That would have been lovely, that would have been a special moment for Jamie Lee Napier. Delivery from Syme is right underneath the throat of Lucy Thomas. Deals with the first one. Bounces off of Holloway, who clears it at the second attempt, and then you can see the idea. Be a Birmingham City throw-in. McKenna. Lily Agg shortening, looking for the option, was ignored, and instead it was thrown to Yuri. Bennett. Bull. Holloway up against Lloyd-Smith is going to be a real tussle this afternoon. Certainly one to get excited about that, especially after the debut that Lexi Lloyd-Smith had last weekend, scoring against Southampton. Looking to make a mark on her Ashton Gate debut. Out to Powell. To Napier. Harrison. Back to Napier. Lovely slide ball. Syme. Two for company, not two that she's keen on. That's a lovely swivel. Napier. What a goal that would have been. Brilliant, brilliant passing move from Bristol City. Lovely team play. Napier heavily involved, but look at that from Syme. No way out, but finds a way. Incredible. Lawley. Into Agg. And McKenna. Spins and does keep it in play, and Lucy Agg takes it back. Here is Lily Agg once more. Yuri, long diagonal. McGowan was, for a second, thinking she may have been in. Bennett. Lloyd-Smith. Lovely ball for Thestrup to chase. Now Napier and Harrison charging in to offer a support. Really well defended though. And now Birmingham City can break away. McGowan beginning to stretch forward. Slides it in. What a tackle that is. Fuso has surely been in on goal, were it not for a brilliant tackle from Harley Bennett. Lovely stretch of the legs from Tegan McGowan. Pass is just in that column of uncertainty, and that is an excellent tackle. That really, really is top draw. And a good game, isn't it? Really good game. Opening 20 minutes here at Ashton Gate. Still goalless, though. Thomas into McGowan, who's growing into this game now. Started to see more of the ball, Tegan McGowan. Harrison. Slightly miscued. You can see the idea, though. Heard in the week of Lauren Dykes talking about how Bristol City are wanting to prove a point, and that point being that they are good enough to bounce back at the first opportunity. They are still one of the big hitters in this league. Today will be a test, no doubt, as it's already proving so, but you can see in the little glimpses and continuity of a lot of these players having played at this level, and given the experience they had in the WSL last season. Many predicting if you finish above Bristol City, you'll go a long way to winning the title, and I think that's probably a fair assessment given the lack of an opening day win. Season's a long one, as we've already discussed, an unpredictable one at that. Likewise, Birmingham. Emmy Merricks in the post-match of 5-0 last week spoke about earning the right to play and having to do the nitty-gritty stuff and the stuff that perhaps doesn't get the credit it deserves, and put the hard yards in off the ball. Her team are doing that so far, and here's McGowan. Absolute proof of that, McGowan already. Covered a lot of ground in this opening 23 minutes. First and second touch is brilliant from Lloyd Smith. Now Struck. Bennett just teases one forward, but it's nodded to safety by Holloway. Ball's going to let it run. Thestrup gives it back to Bull. Maybe Harrison under a little bit of pressure there. You can see the white shirt swarming as soon as Harrison got a touch on the ball. Now Thestrup, a little bit of space opened up. Crossing early towards Napier. Oh, it's a brilliant save. Lucy Thomas sprung into action. All of a sudden, from nothing really, Thestrup just takes it early. It's a really good delivery. Napier sees it coming, and that is an excellent stop from Lucy Thomas. Had to be alert. Sprung to her right-hand side and palms it behind for a Bristol City corner. Can anything result from the following corner? Lexi Lloyd-Smith hung up into there, and Cho chases into the tackle. Powell into Harrison. Bennett. Again, looking for that diagonal. It's a lovely ball yet again. You can see that's a play that's been worked upon. Long diagonal from Harley Bennett. Seems to pick out whether it be Lexi Lloyd-Smith on this near side or Jamie Lee Napier, as it has been in this first half as well. Just opens up a lot more space. It's big enough pitch as it is here at Ashton Gate. Got to find those pockets, and Bristol City are starting to show that they've got that. Good feet from Yuri. Quinn will chase. Struck always the favourite. Bentley. Holloway steals in, and it's a nice idea. Try and clip it around the corner and keep it in play, but unable to on that occasion. Flick around the corners, lovely, really good build-up play again from Birmingham City. Fuso unable to flick it round at the expense of a throw-in. Bristol City down a player currently, although back on their feet is Quinn. Can't find a way out and relieve the pressure for a second. Volley clear by Syme. Heron picks up the pieces. Now McKenna. It's a lovely play to try and run around the outside from Yuri. McKenna. Now Yuri tries to scoop it into an area, just flicked away delicately by Bennett. Fuso. Holloway. Oh, it's a really good effort as well. Nearly caught Bentley out. I think everybody, myself included, expecting that to be hung up towards the far post. Holloway had different ideas. Interesting slight reshuffle that you may not be able to see out of picture at the moment, but it looks like Lawley's gone to the left side of centre half and Heron's come over to the right hand side. Whether that is to deal with the onslaught down this near side is one to keep an eye on. Syme. McKenna's forced to concede the throw-in. Half an hour played here at Ashton Gate. Still goalless between Bristol City and Birmingham City. One good chance apiece, really. The best one, probably the Jamie Lee Napier header at the far post that's forced Lucy Thomas into action. Fran Bentley making a good save 6 or 7 minutes earlier from Tegan McGowan's snapshot. under pressure again, and Bristol City win it back. Could be a chance for Harrison, but the flag's up for offside against Amelie Testrup. That might not be the last time we see that, though. Birmingham City want to play out from the back, and Bristol City almost willing them to do so and swarm high up the pitch when they know that there's potentially blood in the water. Little clip ball is nice from Lawley to Holloway. Throwing goes Bristol City's way. Rogers keeping Fuso at bay and winning the foul. Yuri. McKenna. McKenna again. A flick on from Ag was unable to be brought back in, and you see that long diagonal again from Bennett. This time it's nodded out of harm's way momentarily from McKenna. Harrison, close ball control, and drills it at the near post as well. It's a sneaky effort from Abby Harrison. Did really well to work an angle, just backing in and almost forcing the defender to do something. Lovely swivel, and just lets go at a snapshot. Keeping Lucy Thomas honest at the near post. Lawley thought about the long diagonal and instead swept it across. Heron and Lawley have switched back, incidentally, the two central defenders. Now Struck. Powell. Napier tried to spin away from McKenna. It's the fullback who comes out on top, though. Syme. Ball over the top has asked the question of Powell, and it'll be Powell's header that concedes the corner. And it will be the left foot of Rebecca Holloway that will be given the honours of taking this set piece. Swung in. Well, it's going to fall, is it? To very nearly to Fuso. Came really quickly. Dropped out of nowhere, really. So many bodies ahead and wasn't able to react quick enough, and Thestrup just smashes it behind for another corner. This time it'll be Lucy Quinn to take. Thundered in towards the far post, towards Lawley. Head in hands, actually, from Gemma Lawley, who Perhaps feels she might have made contact. McKenna wanted to take it quickly. Bristol City get back in position though and prevent any immediate danger. Thestrup. Struck under pressure and finds Rogers, and now a little bit of space for Lloyd Smith. Even more space on the overlap for Bull. Thestrup making a run inside on the far side. It's Syme instead who gets the ball, and now Lloyd Smith again. It was towards Thestrup and Napier, the two making ground in the middle of the pitch. Thestrup. Deflection and eventually cleared only as far as Harrison. Had to take it quickly, Abby Harrison. Unable to get enough purchase around the ball in the end. Comes at her quickly and at an awkward angle as well. Well, if you had predicted these two to be two of the front runners in the division before a ball was kicked, probably anticipated that this game would go exactly this way. Not a huge amount to separate either of them. Perhaps looking for that one moment of magic to unlock it. Plenty of time for that still to come. Both teams really comfortable on the ball. Have that patient approach and certainly have star quality within the ranks to be that difference maker. Yuri. Certainly in that bracket. Lawley. Napier tried to flick it on towards Harrison, but Harrison, I think, knew that the flag would be raised as soon as they played a part, so it was left. Home games always prove to be the most important thing in a league campaign. You have to make sure that it's the one place that other teams don't want to come and you can find comfort and give your home support something to cheer about. Certainly had plenty of memories made last season were it not for points on the board or results, but this is a big opportunity today. Trip to the capital for Bristol City next time out as they head to London City Lionesses. Another team who are showing real ambition and massive project now with Shell Kang involved. Birmingham City back at home, back on home turf next weekend as they host Portsmouth. One of the new additions to the division, of course, Portsmouth. So it is kind of one of those where we spoke about perhaps preempting the fact, and it does feel very early, of course. And don't want to be one of those who over-exaggerates or sensationalises things, but if Birmingham City were to get a result today, then at home to Portsmouth next week before Cup ventures start, what a start that could be to the season. Foul in there from Liliag. Just the chat, nothing more. Bennett. Now Rogers. Powell. So again, the diagonal was intended towards Lloyd Smith. McGowan really has looked a bright spark whenever Tegan McGowan gets the ball to feet. Wants to turn and be direct and run at players, make sure that she's committing defenders and opening up little pockets of space. Real bright spark in this first half, and again involved. And now Fuso tries to slide it in towards Quinn. Tussle between Quinn and Bennett. Bentley is the beneficiary. Ag. Bit of pressure on her shoulder, so takes stock of things and goes back to Thomas. Now Holloway. Fuso wants it inside, does get the ball as well, just skids under the studs of Ivana Fuso. Bennett relinquishes a corner, a throw-in right in the corner. Harrison dealing with it. And then Lloyd Smith. Thestrup once more the furthest player forward, but Heron shields the ball out of play. 2.5 minutes left of what's been a very evenly contested first half here at Ashton Gate. Few real clear-cut chances. Best one apiece falling to McGowan for Birmingham City, forcing a good save from Fran Bentley down to her right, and likewise a header from Jamie Lee Napier at the far post, forcing Lucy Thomas to spring and palm it wide. Could be a chance here though. Ag sees the headlines, sees the highlights. Unable to find the top corner though. Struck. Now Bennett. Searching pass to Lloyd Smith. Stolen away there by Holloway. Now into the feet of Quinn. Tackled by Bennett. And committed as well from Lloyd Smith. Holloway does keep it in. Heron into the final 60 seconds, plus whatever the officials decide to add. We're hearing probably it's going to be 2 minutes. Thomas. Headed away by Struck. Flag will probably be forthcoming for Thestrup, so it is left, and just her presence was enough to see the flag raised. Lawley. Little flick round the corner that's going to encourage Yuri to step forward. We are into those 2 added minutes at the end of the first half.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum
Powell.
of 2 additional minutes.
Yuri wins it back.
2 additional minutes.
No foul, and now Napier can step forward. The counter-attack could be on. A little bit too much on it, but Lloyd Smith keeps it alive. And then replicates the a bit much on it pass. Opportunity maybe for Birmingham to load the box one final time as Struck is punished for the foul on Yuri. This probably will be final glimpse of action of this first half. Quinn's probably the target for Lawley. It's towards Quinn and Ag, and it's Ag who wins the header down. Thestrup. Heron launched forward. Now McGowan. Maybe there is time for one final showing. Quick feet of Tegan McGowan. Runs into a bit of a cul-de-sac. Back to Yuri. Smashes it against Powell, and that will be the end of a tightly contested first half, I think it's fair to say. Both teams spent the opening exchanges perhaps getting to grips with what each other have got in the locker. Neither team wanting to show their hand too much. There's definite quality between the two. There's definitely going to be plenty of games this season where we see these two run away with it. Today's not going to be one of those. It's a real tussle here at Ashton Gate, and a big 45 minutes still to come as well. It's Bristol City 0, Birmingham City 0. Wasn't too much to separate these two the last time. They were championship competitors. And there hasn't been much to separate them in the first half. Game of few chances. Probably shows more of a competent defence for both than a lacking in attacking impetus. Has to be said though, the three previous meetings have all been very heavily in Birmingham City's favour. 2-0 winners the last time they met. That was in the Midlands back in April 2023, and then the last time they made the trip to the West Country, 1-0 winners on the road in November 2022. Last time Bristol City got a point, in fact, was back in March 2021. Both WSL sides, of course, back in 2021. On an early chance potentially as Birmingham win it back high. Here's Struck. Powell. Rogers just lays it back into Powell, who tried to sweep it outside to Napier, but unable to on that occasion. We'll take a little bit of time, of course, to started to talk about it in the first half, get rid of that sort of WSL hangover. There was plenty of fantastic memories made and a lot of experience gained from their season back in the top flight last year, but just whets the appetite to get back and competing at the top level as soon as possible. 6 summer additions and change in the dugout, of course, a change unforeseen a couple of weeks before. But now it's all about putting one foot in front of another. Lauren Dykes, of course, in charge now. Free kick in a dangerous position then. A first potential sighting at goal. Holloway and Quinn stood over it. Be the right foot of Lucy Quinn, or the left foot of Holloway will be the right foot of Quinn. is Holloway. Holloway's throw. Perhaps a little bit too physical there was Jazz Bull. Now another opportunity though. Although taken short to Lawley. Now McKenna. Heron. That was a nice idea. Just a few paces in front of Holloway though, unable to reel it in. Ball's throwing. Testrup just tries to nudge it off. Thomas. Headed by Heron into the Birmingham City dugout, but able to find a teammate on the pitch on that occasion, but it is safe. 5 minutes into this second half. Feels like neither team have really settled since the break so far, although that might be about to change. Maybe not. Cho punished for a bit of extra physicality, and Bennett taking no stoppages to get on with the game. Testrup's header on, looking for Harrison, but it's intercepted by Birmingham City. Win it back and can start to build a little bit. Cho important to that as always. McKenna. Here is McKenna. Quinn, seen a lot of the ball this afternoon as Lucy Quinn, which I think probably tells you most of the story about how two defences have been on top. Well, here is Quinn, trying to link the play and feeds it out wide. Two goals last weekend for Lucy Quinn. Only notched twice the whole of the championship campaign last time out. 6 the season before when Birmingham City ran Bristol City close. Two really well taken goals last weekend as well. Don't forget, of course, you can see all the highlights and all the games now on this very YouTube channel and the Women's Championship show. Bull forced to go back to Bentley, who quick on her toes and recycles play out the far side. Powell. Now Napier. Ag intercepts, and now there's a bit of space potentially for Lily Agu. Has to weave back and elects to keep a hold of it. Now Heron. Holloway. Intercepted by Lloyd Smith, but recycled by Cho. Lawley fired into Quinn, who just tried to little cushioned layoff towards Fuso. Oh, really good feet, and now Powell can step away. Gives Napier something to chase, but just a little bit too strong. Harrison, cushioned layoff to Syme. Now Napier. Bennett. Cuts in towards Lloyd Smith, and it's smothered and won back brilliantly by Fuso. It's a nice little clip ball out by Heron and Holloway, and comes out of pitch, does she? Just about. It's a nice move that's started to be built there by Birmingham City, though. Perhaps both starting to get their rhythm back. I say that as Fran Bentley is needing some assistance. There's a goalkeeper on the bench, of course, and it might be a debut for Jackie Burns. Looks like there will be a first shuffle of the pack, and it will be from the visitors. Ava Baker is the one who's being readied. Burst onto the scene last year with Leicester City. Baker just being told to ensure she's ready before entering the fray. A little conversation between her and just stood in the technical area while Fran Bentley receives medical assistance. We want to keep an eye on, though, certainly from a Birmingham City perspective. If opposition goalkeeper's got anything but 100%, it'll be a test quite quickly. And here is that change now. Lucy Quinn to be replaced by Ava Baker.
Try number 32, Ava Baker.
Might mean a slight reshuffle in who's the furthest forward. By the look of it, Tegan McGowan might have been the one who's now going to play centrally and a little further forward and allow Ava Baker to slot in on this left-hand side. Yuri left Powell in a heap there. Might be the first booking of the game, and it is. Yellow card shown to Birmingham's number 26, Yuri. Just short of an hour played, still nothing to separate these two. Struck. Headed away by Lawley. Really good feet from Yuri. Sun has come out for the Ashton Gate faithful and very nearly came out for Amelie Thestrup there, because Lucy Thomas, it looked like for a second, had perhaps thought the bounce was coming a little quicker. It's 3 Bristol City players who very nearly get in a tangle. Harrison. Stolen away by Heron and then bundled to the floor. Abby Harrison, one of those who Bristol City know have got elite championship level quality to spearhead them to a title charge. Certainly proved to be that way a few years ago. Top goal scorer in the Barclays Women's Championship, Abby Harrison. About an hour gone and the home support trying to whisk up a little bit more energy from the home team perhaps. Harrison going to chase it herself. Anne's going to keep chasing as well, all the way back to Lucy Thomas, who throws a little bit of a dummy and then clips it out to this near side for Ava Baker. Looked like the ball had gone out and it has. Ball trying to take it quickly. Sends Lloyd Smith on a chase. Now a little bit more intensity, a little bit more urgency from Bristol City's play. Just as I say that. So Rogers trying to skip around the outside and clips it towards the far post. Unable to pick out a teammate and it will just trickle out for a goal kick. But again, nice idea. Someone that's taken the game by the scruff of the neck themselves. And on that occasion it was Amy Rogers. Little burst of pace, little shuffle away from the defender and tried to make something happen. Lloyd Smith. Harrison tried to just clip it over the top, but unable to get too much on it. Might get a second bite at it here. It's fallen for Lloyd Smith, who does try and take it in early. Bounce has fallen kindly for Harrison. Harrison squares it. Syme with the overlap. Is it going to go in? Testrup. Oh my word, what a tackle. Rebecca McKenna saving what was a guaranteed goal. Bounce was kind for Harrison initially. Kept her composure. Syme with a little back heel. It's McKenna who gets in the way first, and then as Thestrup looks like she's going to tuck it home on the slide, McKenna throws her body in the way and prevents what looked like a Bristol City opener. Brilliant defending from McKenna. Not once, but twice. Harrison tries to be punched on immediately by Syme, who's grown into the game as well. Heron seeing a little bit more of the ball as well as Niamh Heron stepping forward. And now Thestrup could be a chance. Lloyd Smith inside, as is Harrison. It's come all the way back to Napier, who works an angle. Napier. Good block by Yuri. Now Rogers. Napier wants it on the far side. It's towards her, but McKenna deals with it. Lovely little step over from Yuri. That's brilliant. Still going as well. Pass just evades teammate. Bristol City ready in another change. Jessie Woolley is being readied. Lexi Lloyd-Smith, though, trying to make the change on the pitch first. Lovely little chop inside from Lloyd-Smith. Wonderful footwork. Left foot, right foot can go both ways. Really clever player. And now it's Turn of the Birmingham City goalkeeper, Lucy Thomas, needing medical assistance. Time perhaps for some calmer heads to suggest a plan. Eve Heron directing traffic in there as conversation ongoing there between fourth official and Lauren Dykes. That change is just being paused for the moment. We were anticipating the introduction of Jessie Woolley. We've just seen she's popped the bib back on and gone to go through some additional warm-ups. 25 minutes to play here at Ashton Gate. Bristol City 0, Birmingham City 0. A game of few chances so far. Tells the story that both defences have been those on top. Both will be very pleased, I'm sure, with the way they've defended in this game. Limited either side to any real clear-cut chances. The only sightings at goal have been half chances, you'd probably describe them as. A couple in the first half, and then the one we had a few moments ago, which saw McKenna sliding in on the line to prevent Thestrup from tucking in. Thankfully, it looks like Thomas is okay, although passed a little bit much on it, and Heron goes thundering into the tackle on Lexi Lloyd-Smith. Baker. Cho. Ava Baker then showing a clean pair of heels. Great feet. It's a lovely slide ball in as well for McGowan. One-on-one with Struck. McGowan. Oh, what a save. How on earth has she kept that out for Anne Bentley? Brilliant play again from Ava Baker first, and then Tegan McGowan shrugs off Bennett, dances inside away from Struck and drags it to the near post, almost catching Bentley out, gets down so quickly, throws a strong palm at it, and it's behind for a Birmingham City corner. Corner which Ava Baker will take. Low towards the near post and clattered clear by Scylla Struck, who we may have missed a little bit earlier, but was shown a yellow card in the early exchanges of the second half. McKenna. Now Harrison looked up and saw no red shirts ahead, so has had to delay it a little bit and wait for support. Does find Napier. I'm not sure how she found her there, because it seemed about 3 or 4 Birmingham City players the ball trickled away from. Struck. And Bennett. Once again, that long searching diagonal to perfection as well. Ball. The delivery towards the near post. Is it going to fall for a red shirt? Is it going to fall for Napier at the far post? Harrison, another brilliant block. Once again, Birmingham City throwing bodies in the way and protecting that clean sheet at all costs. Bristol City will be buoyed by the last few passages of play, which have seen some chances begin to open themselves up and begin to show themselves. And that clip ball forward is going to find Thestrup, who's started to stretch the play more and more. Powell driving at McKenna. Tries to shield it out for a goal kick, but Heron wraps the foot around it and wins it. Here is that chance. Napier and McKenna going in for the same ball. It's a brilliant block from Heron. And then McKenna gets in the way as well. Superb defending. That's all about desire and anticipation. You can do all the work on the training ground Monday to Friday, but something you can't teach that. Here is Struck. Now Struck. Bennett. Lloyd Smith. Under pressure is Rogers and has been robbed. McGowan thought about the shot, waited, opened up an angle, could be a chance. It's a really good tackle from Powell. As Yuri's eyes lit up, she thought she was going to be gifted a golden opportunity to open the scoring. Brilliant play from McGowan, just to wait, but perhaps not enough on the pass in the end, and Powell steaming in to make an important interception. Birmingham City ready in a triple change. You can probably see down below us. They're noticing the game's perhaps swinging away from them, but they might be on the offensive now. Fuso. Heron. Here's Yuri. Space inside for Cho if she can find her. And does. Here is Cho. Baker. Baker again. Lovely ball in from Baker, perfectly weighted. Here's Fuso. Overlapping run with Cho, trying to square it. Lovely turn from Fuso again, trying to scoop it into the path of McGowan. Harrison under a bit of pressure, the calmest person in the stadium, Abby Harrison there. Harrison once more, although referee has brought play back for a foul. And now we will see a triple change for Birmingham City. Going to see the introduction of Libby Smith, Ashanti Akpan and Christy Harrison-Murray. Tegan McGowan has been brilliant this afternoon. So unfortunate not to be on the score sheet. Maybe a couple of occasions Tegan McGowan has certainly seemed like the most likely to break the deadlock this afternoon. Also seeing Cho be replaced by Ashanti Akpan, the only change from the 5-0 win last week. So that's going to be reversed.
Being replaced by number 21, Ashanti Akpan.
Abby Harrison's also going to be changed here for Bristol City by the look of it. And the final change we'll see Ivana Fuso for Christy Harrison-Murray.
13, Ivana Fuso.
In fact, it'll be a double change now for Bristol City. They've shuffled the pack a little bit more, and it'll not just be the introduction of Jessie Woolley, but also the introduction of Fionn Morgan. And it's Lexi Lloyd-Smith first for Fionn Morgan. And then Abby Harrison for Jessie Woolley. Well, the 5 new additions have got 15 or so minutes to leave their mark on the game. Plenty of time. And perhaps still a game that needs a little bit of magic, a little spark, a little something different. Here's Strzok. Powell.
For Bristol City. Running left of field, number 7.
Flick ball on towards Thestrup. Could be in. Amelie Thestrup.
Also running
Flags up
forward,
for offside.
number 27, Jessie Woolley. Also running just back of field, number 10, Lexi Lloyd-Smith. Being replaced by number 24, Fionn Morgan.
Taken quickly by Akpan, although forced to have a second bite at it. Bentley under pressure and fires it out. Woolley's going to give chase, but Heron can just step across and calm things down a little bit. Baker back to Akpan. Really talented, promising footballer, Ashanti Akpan, on loan from Chelsea, of course. England Youth International. Smith nudges it wide, and it's a really good delivery towards the far post, towards Ava Baker. It's fired in by Harrison Murray. This is the sort of immediacy that the coach would love to see. First touch out of the feet, and then wicked delivery towards the far post. For Baker for a Bristol City throw-in. Now Heron into the feet of Lawley. Holloway. Baker intercepted by Fionn Morgan. Stolen back, and Kirsty Harrison Murray fired it into the feet of Libby Smith. Akpan hot on the heels of Fionn Morgan. Confirming the earlier yellow cards just after half-time. Scylla Strzok being shown the first one of the game for Bristol City. And then Yuri on the opposition, one apiece. Birmingham City's Yuri being booked for late tackle on Jamie Lee Napier on the far side. 15 minutes after that. So one apiece on the card count. Still goalless on the score sheet. But a shade over 10 minutes still to play here at Ashton Gate, and potentially Libby Smith was thinking about an opportunity developing. Will we get a moment? Will we get a flashpoint? Oh, lovely feet. Little nutmeg as well, whether it was intended or not. Strzok. work an angle up against Yuri. Thinks that should have gone Birmingham City's way. It doesn't. It goes Bristol City's way. Energy not lacking in the stands here at Ashton Gate. You can hear vocal home support trying to encourage their team in the final 10 or so minutes, and this might be that moment. Fionn Morgan, wonderful defending from Holloway, although chance might not be over. Looks like a little bit over physical there and unnecessary. Holloway did the hard work and then concedes a foul. It's a lovely ball over the top though, look at that. Searching delivery. Just skips behind Morgan. The first touch of spin on the ball just takes it back into the wishes of Holloway. Ten minutes to play. Bristol City with an opportunity now for a Fionn Morgan free kick. Clearly something they've worked upon. It's a real sparse penalty box before they all come crashing in together, surely. Strook's the one who's lurking right at the far post. He's whipped in towards the near post, and it was Emily Syme who tried to sneak it underneath the goalkeeper. Now, could there be a break on? Yuri. Fired out to Baker. Underlapping run was just unable to be picked out. It was Christy Harrison-Murray on the underlapping run. Looked for all the world, it was going to be hung up towards the back post, but it wasn't. It was fisting towards the near. Syme who tries to just clip it round the corner, but Heron gets enough on it, and then it's a good save from Thomas. Smith. Back to Holloway. Dances around Bennett. Wins the corner as well. An immediate reaction to Birmingham City. A Bristol City attack is a Birmingham City attack. And it'll be left to the right boot of Christy Harrison-Murray. Punched away by Bentley. Kept alive by Akpan maybe. Morgan in need of help. Finds help in the way of Ella Powell. McKenna. Really well done to keep it alive from Ava Baker on that far side. Rogers feels the contact and is eventually unfairly barged off the ball. Takes it quickly as well, Rogers. Holloway just about gets enough on it, but here's Woolley. Thinks about the shot from distance. Very nearly catches out Lucy Thomas. Well, we spoke about maybe this game might need a little magical moment. Jessie Woolley is only a few centimetres from providing that. I think the only person absolutely confident it wasn't going in was Lucy Thomas in the Birmingham City goal. That's a lovely slide ball. This is a chance. Napier. Another good save from Thomas. Straight at the goalkeeper in fairness, but now the chances are starting to open up a little bit. Is this the counter-attack that Birmingham City want though? Harrison-Murray. Out wide to McKenna. Baker ahead of her. Finds Ava Baker. McKenna follows on with the overlap. Here's Napier. Tried to flick it and follow, and eventually tidied up by Jazz Bull. Bennett. making sure that Bentley's still on her toes. Struck. Just flicks it into a good area. A little nod on from Woolley. Holloway. Now Heron. Struck. Bentley under pressure, just clips the ball out, and header on is going to trickle kindly towards Ava Baker, who's now found a newer berth on that right hand side. Now could be a chance. Pass was delayed a bit by Jazz Bull, and Napier wanted it quicker and earlier. Woolley thunders into the tackle, as does Akpan. Just a shade under 2,000 here in attendance this afternoon at Ashton Gate. 1,956. Guarantee none of those will be leaving early, because this one's going to go down to the wire. We've seen the game start to open up a little bit more in the final 10 minutes. Both teams will feel they've got enough quality that if they get one opportunity, that's the one that they will need, the only one they'll need. Well, we'll find out. Bull. Here's Struck. Harrison. Excuse me, Bennett into Napier. Now Napier stepping forward. Skips away from the first tackle, and Akpan throws herself in the way of it. Bull looks up and sees potential in the area of Rogers making a late run in. Morgan. Big deflection, it's still going, it's bouncing around everywhere. Body's being thrown on the line. Game really starting to open up more and more now, and perhaps seeing that this would be a good point on the road for Birmingham City. Lucy Thomas taking a few extra seconds, but that's no good. Thundering into the tackle again. Struck's got to be careful. Baker. Birmingham ready in their final change. McKenna looking for the overlap. Smith. McKenna's not got too many showing. Asking for a bit more support, finds it in form of Libby Smith, and now McKenna has a little bit of space that's opened up. Baker reverses the ball into a good area. Just a bit much on it for McKenna to latch onto it. Thestrup, tackled by Lawley.
Today's attendance is 1,956. Thank you for your support.
Here is that change.
Replacing
Luan
for
Warzy
Birmingham
coming on
City,
for the final
number
exchanges for
26,
Yuri.
Yuri being replaced by number 18, Luan Warzy.
Another summer edition, Luann Warsey. Would be quite a way to introduce yourself if you come on in the 89th minute and decide to be the difference maker and find a way to turn 1 point into 3. Ag just hooks it on into an area. Smith's going to give chase. Bennett's got a little bit of time and finds a pass inside. Ball able to get hold of it. 4 added minutes are predicted. You'll see the board go up imminently. Napier in a really difficult area and is fouled. Wants to take it quickly. You can see perhaps one team feels that there's more than a point in this. Certainly the home team who need that advantage of making this place a fortress and the added expectation. And we're into the 4 added minutes now. Can anybody find the breakthrough? Struck. Looking for Morgan. It might fall eventually to Thestrup, but Lawley is first on the spot. Bentley. McKenna just cannons it off of Jesse Woolley for a Birmingham throw-in. McKenna into Ag. Rogers does well. Here's Woolley back to Struck. Nice ball from Powell. Now Woolley. Napier screaming for it on this near side. It very nearly finds the Bristol City captain. Lovely idea. Played half of the 4 added minutes. We're probably now in the territory of don't lose it rather than make sure you win it. Struck. Flip ball over the top and Morgan's going to give chase. And he's going to get there, Phil Morgan, but went a little bit too early according to the official. .90 seconds remain. Free header by Ag onto Baker. Ag's going to get it back. Lily Ag's going to shoot. You could see the idea. Fell kindly. It was asking to be hit. Didn't quite catch it as true as we know Lily Ag can. Slide ball into Thestrup. Big deflection and then smashed clear by Heron. Only as far as Powell, who quickly flicks it onto Struck. Final 30 or so seconds. Is there another chance in this? Bennett. Heron. Akpan looking for Baker and Powell fires it into the air. Can Napier keep it in? Comes off of Luann Warsey, did it? No, it came off of Jamie Lee Napier for a Birmingham City throw-in. Rogers. Well, two teams who were difficult to separate the last time they competed in the championship have proved to be exactly that again, difficult to separate. Nothing could do that this afternoon. Two teams that people thought would set the pace this season in the Women's Championship. Well, maybe they are setting the pace. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Birmingham City unbeaten from the first two. Bristol City unbeaten from the first two. Both two hard-fought points for the Robins. Birmingham City, after a while, probably thought actually a point is a good one on the road at Ashton Gate. A game that's proved exactly as we thought. Very little to separate them. Nothing did. It ends here at Ashton Gate. Bristol City 0, Birmingham City 0. This is the game as it played out. Tegan McGowan heavily involved in the first half for Birmingham City. Working a shooting opportunity here for Fuso. Just flashes over. Jamie Lee Napier heavily involved here as well. Tried to tease one in towards the far post, but Lucy Thomas plucks that one out the sky. And then probably the best Birmingham chance of the first half. McGowan forcing a good save from Bentley, who needed to be on form this afternoon and certainly was. Very nearly a mix-up between Heron and Thomas. Let Napier almost in. And a corner not long after presented itself once more to Jamie Lee Napier. Eventually bobbling out to the Bristol City captain, unable to keep the volley down. Lovely bit of skill from Syme into Napier once more. Really well defended from Birmingham City, who would prove that would be constant narrative in the game. McGowan once more with a driving run. Another piece of excellent defending, this time from the Bristol City centre half in Harley Bennett. Second half started with Bristol City trying to pick something up before the half-time break. It was Lucy Thomas keeping Jamie Lee Napier out to ensure that it was goalless at half-time. This attempted effort was another one that could be plucked out of the sky. They're all sort of half chances in the first half. Abby Harrison with a similar one. Nothing really presenting itself and very little to separate the two of them. This one flashed past Fuso, who couldn't get on the end of anything quickly enough. Second half was still going to prove to be fairly similar, but these chances all in the first half are exactly that, half chances, little snatched efforts, not really too much in it. But then in the second half, Bristol City started and almost found the breakthrough. Emily Thestrup would have opened her account were it not for brilliant defending from Rebecca McKenna. Lexi Lloyd-Smith showed some nice footwork there, but again unable to pick out a teammate. And then this is probably the best chance of the game. McGowan once more, who was brilliant before being taken off. Another really good stop from Bentley. Again, once more, Birmingham City throwing bodies on the line to prevent Abby Harrison from striking at goal. McGowan, again, involved. Lovely step over. Just not enough on the pass to find its way back to Yuri. Powell tracking back and making sure they didn't have a shot on goal. Fionn Morgan could have been in were it not for another piece of good defending, this time from Rebecca Holloway. The free kick that resulted, actually. Almost found Syme at the near post, but smothered by Heron and then picked up by Thomas. Once again, that long diagonal nearly proved to be the key for Bristol City this afternoon. Jessie Woolley with a long-range effort. Did hit the net, but unfortunately it was the top side of it. Lovely ball into Jamie Lee Napier. Probably will feel she may have done better straight at the goalkeeper. But that proved to be the story of the afternoon, really. A couple of close calls, but two teams who will definitely test each other and everybody else in the division right the way through this Barclays Women's Championship season. Not a lot to contend with before the game, not a lot to separate them during it. maybe not a lot to separate them throughout the season either. Bristol City 0, Birmingham City 0.